On to other stories, Justice Nicholas Oweibo has adjourned till Tuesday next week to hear the applications of the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, and that of the federal government. Mr. Emefiele is seeking to stop his trial bordering on alleged illegal possession of firearms, while the prosecution wants the court to grant leave for it to appeal the bail granted to the defendant last month.
After his arraignment on July the 25th, Justice Oweibo adjourned till November the 14th for the federal government to formally open its case against Godwin Emefiele. But this hearing is prompted by new developments. The Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions from the Federal Ministry of Justice, Nkiru Jones-Nebo, in an application dated August the 3rd, is seeking leave of this court to appeal against its order granting the defendant bail and for him to be transferred from the custody of the Department of State Security to a correctional facility pending the fulfillment of his bail conditions. Despite that order, the DSS and correctional officers engaged in a fight in the court premises at the last sitting over who takes custody, leading to the defendant's rearrest by the DSS. Lead Defense Counsel Joseph Daudu, SAN, is also seeking an order prohibiting the government from further prosecuting Mr. Emefiele or seeking any indulgence before the court owing to its disobedience of the court's subsisting ruling. On Thursday, the State Council urged the court to allow them move their motion as both sides had filed responses. But the court overruled that position, agreeing with the defense that hearing the government's motion first would render the defense application futile.
The reason why the application was not taken today, as regards our own application, was that despite the fact that we served the federal government on the 8th of August, I was only served with their response today. And I'm not a mobile or encyclopedia of the legal profession. I need to look at what they have said, discuss it with the team, and we'll come up with a position. And we simply ask the court to give us just one day. The court has ruled that our application takes priority. Our application, in my humble view, is jurisdictional. It calls upon the court's jurisdiction to even protect its powers. A court order that you are flouting, the same court that you have desecrated.
The defense team says it has had limited access to Mr. Emefiele since his rearrest, but doesn't divulge his exact location.
There is no access as better than when you can confer with your client in the comfort of your chambers. That's my definition of client-lawyer relationship. Not one that I will go into confinement, you know, and I'll be restricted in discussing with my client, as it were. Even if I tell you he's here today, he could be taken somewhere else tomorrow. So I need to be very careful. They should come and tell us where he is.
Further hearing is fixed for August the 15th. Kemi Foladeyemo, TVC News, Lagos.
And now to Ondo State, where the commander of Western Nigerian Security Network, codenamed Amotekun Corps, Adetunji Adeleye, says the command has prosecuted more than 1,500 suspects in the last 3 years. Mr. Adeleye disclosed this at an interactive session organized by the State Correspondent Chapel of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, tagged the platform. Ayode Jimorade reports.
The Southwest Security Network, codenamed Amotekun Corps, was established on the 9th of January 2020 by the 6 governors in the region to address security challenges in their states. Ondo was the first state in the region to launch operation of the Amotekun Corps after the operatives underwent series of trainings.
Here, the photograph of one of our fallen heroes.
Addressing journalists on the successes recorded by the command, the state commander of Amotekun, Adetunji Adeleye, said more than 7,000 criminals have been arrested across the state in just 3.5 years of its creation. Out of this figure, more than 1,500 suspects have been charged to court, with judgment secured in some cases.
With our local intellect and unconventional method, had assisted us in arresting to date well over 7,000 suspected criminals, out of which over 1,005 of them have been charged to court.
Some of the area officers have also been summarily dismissed for flouting the rules of operations. The commander said the command is facing serious challenges in the area of equipment to mass sophisticated weapons carried by criminals.
Having gone this far in the establishment, the least that the federal government should do for Amotekun is to allow us access to the use of equipment, commensurate with what our detractors and criminals around us carry.
The Amotekun commander said the success story of the command is not complete without the support of other security agencies. He urged residents to continue to give adequate information to the command that will lead to the arrest of criminals. Ayode Jomora, TVC News, Akure.